What's up, everybody? Time for another Plucky and James podcast. It'd be cool to like have a little intro, like. Anyway, that's the whole. Oh, that's. Can we not use that? Batman. Yeah. The title of this one is "To Make the World a Better Place: Why Everyone Should Live on a Boat for at least."
Well, I said first.
First. What do you mean first?
Well, for the original, I got a bit lazy, people, and I didn't write for at least 3 months. I just wrote first. So, you know, like when you're 4 years of age.
Oh, I get it.
You live on a boat.
You're saying like what, as a child.
Yeah, you got to get trained.
I think, and I tell everybody this, that everyone should live on a boat for a year.
Yeah.
Like of their life. Doesn't matter.
Sensible advice.
And this is why. And this is why we both feel very strongly about this. And not to say that, you know, we're better or worse off. It's just, it'll put things in perspective for you because, honestly, like, the last time I bought furniture was in, like, 2007. And I don't ever think about how nice the velour on my couch is going to be.
You're you because you're James, not because of the couch that you own. Or how nice your apartment looks.
And that's one of the points that we're trying to make. It'll teach you to have a better view of the world, I think.
Yeah. I agree.
Maybe not.
You don't need that $40,000 couch.
Yeah.
Or that $10,000 pillow. Or
what's the couch without a back? That's like they're really expensive. They're just like a big ottoman. What are they called?
A big ottoman.
Oh man.
We call them puffs in Australia. Do you call them puffs?
No, but
a big puff.
Yeah. It's like a puff.
I don't mean that in a derogatory term. We
That's
just
funny.
call them. We used to call them puffs.
I don't know if we can put that on YouTube.
What, a puff? Sorry, I didn't mean anything. I'm explaining it. It's the little ottoman. Yeah, it's what.
Cheers, Puck.
Yeah, shut up.
Cheers to everybody. So get your favorite glass of wine, sit back, relax. It's going to be an hour-long conversation about why we think everyone in the world should live on boats. And I honestly think
believe
this.
it. Absolutely.
Honestly believe this.
In fact, you should drag people and shove them on a boat.
Yeah.
It should be a prison sentence. Well, not a prison sentence. It would be an enlightening sentence.
Enlightening sentence.
Yeah.
I like the sound
but
of
sort
that.
of have it with prison people to shove you on the boat to force you, and then you become enlightened later. I want to get off. Well, tough. All right, why? I'll tell you a story. Well, not a story. Water conservation, right? You are completely aware, and I know James is aware.
Sorry, buddy.
If you're in the boat and you hear that water pump go, and it starts to go for like more than 4 seconds, you go, hang on. What the hell is my crew doing on the boat for 4 seconds using all of that water? You're aware of all of this.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
you're aware yourself. I mean, when I got stuck, I was using 2.2 litres per person per day.
That's amazing.
And drinking and cooking.
That's amazing.
And that's what we're living on, right? The army lives on 6 litres.
I live on 5 gallons per day per person. That's usually what I.
Well, we were forced. We're in that crazy situation. So we were forced. But normally, I'm about 5 litres. So we've just been under half. But it gets to the point that when you go visit land and you're walking along and you'll see a park and there'll be a dripping tap. I can't walk past that dripping tap. I've got to do something about it.
Actually,
I've got to do something. It annoys me.
That's a commonality. I also can't go by trash without trying to pick it up. It's a commonality.
Well, the water problem. Okay, hang on. This doesn't compute.
But
there's a leaking thing there, and no one's doing anything about it.
You don't have a water maker, correct?
No, well, I do, but it's broken. Yeah, so I don't.
Mine also. So same thing. It's and I didn't have a water maker for the first half of my trip on my last boat. Yeah. And then I got one, and it was a lot better. But it wasn't like we could just take as much shower as you wanted.
No.
But there is a difference when you have a water maker.
So what does an average person in the Western world use per day? Well, a family uses somewhere like 1/2 ton.
Really?
A day.
Did you look that up?
No, well, yeah, this is Australian statistics, so don't go jump on me if it's not. But toilet flushes are huge. Washing machines are huge. Showers are huge. If you're on a boat, you're mindful of all of this. And it'd make a world a better place because you're not wasting a very precious resource.
Yeah.
And we don't realise how precious it is, but it is precious, and it's getting more so. And we need to be mindful of this, people. And living on a boat makes you mindful.
I freak out when I'm at on land and I see people brushing their teeth and just leaving the water. I'm like, hey, stop! Can you please stop wasting water? Or if someone's filling up the boat and they don't know what they're doing and they're just like letting it run into the marina, I'm like, it like really makes me physically. I have a physical reaction.
Yeah. And that's what we need to ingrain in people.
Yeah.
So we're all like that, and so we won't have leaking taps. We won't do things stupid. My crew brush their teeth with salt water.
And do they really?
Yes, because I got a saltwater tap. Yes, damn straight.
That's awesome.
Damn straight.
That's awesome.
Damn straight.
Good for you.
And me.
Yeah.
Well, we got hardly any water.
I don't mind it. It's kind of a cool taste.
Yeah.
Minty, salty taste.
Well, hey, the old people used to brush their teeth with salt.
That's
Just
disgusting.
like salt.
Oh, you can actually use that?
Well,
I
the
know you
old
can
people
use
do.
baking soda.
Yeah, well, old people do all sorts of crazy.
You know what else you can use baking soda for? If you've got Crohn's like me, and you get
reflux,
acid reflux, just take 1 spoon of baking soda, put it in a bunch of water, just mix it up, and it's just like Tums. It's the same thing. It's calcium carbonate.
Yeah, except they put
sugar in it,
bit of sugar in it and stuff,
flavoring.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's number 1 reason, people, and water is a pretty big reason, especially coming from Australia because we got bugger all water.
I don't know about if that's the best reason, but I'd say that's like one of the major reasons. Live on a boat. Respect water.
Your turn, my friend. I did water conservation.
Minimalism.
I wrote wash less.
You wash less.
Food, energy, eat less.
Okay, well.
Sorry, I got to decipher my doctor's handwriting.
You do have really bad. Look at this. Look at this handwriting. It's bad.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can focus in on that. Yeah, you look like a chicken wrote that. All right, so. Anyway. Minimalism.
What do you need?
My reason for saying minimalism was thinking like the Sailing Uma thing, where their first episode was "Don't buy a couch," and I think that was a brilliant episode, where they said, "Look, somebody told us don't buy a couch, buy a boat," and it's pretty much explained the same thing we're talking about here. Living on a boat makes you not think about, okay, what kind of car am I going to drive? Am I going to have to covet someone's furniture? Oh, I think I need to rearrange the kitchen because there is none of that on a boat.
People get bored too when they're on land, don't they?
Yeah.
And they want to keep on revamping these things that they're perfectly functional as they are.
Yeah, like my bed was east to west, but now it's south to north, and it's way better this way.
Let's knock down this wall.
It's more feng shui. I'd like to add a little bit to this. There's none of that on a boat. It's just enough
simple
work trying to keep the water out.
Maintain it. Yeah. Well, on my boat it is.
Same thing, dude. Everybody's boats like that.
Struggle.
And since you have to be self-sufficient, you really learn how to manage food, which is another thing, kind of like water, where everyone needs it to survive, and nobody knows where the hell it comes from. On a boat, you fish for your own fish, you spear fish, you carry around dried foods, you hunt and gather. We just got like 6 or 8 coconuts. Climbed the palm trees, got the coconut.
He's the master. I just throw the coconuts up.
Yeah.
he's the gorilla, and I'm...
I'm the monkey, you're the gorilla.
And I pick up a rock or something and I hoik it down. I get a few.
It's really funny. You know what, Pluck? It's really fucking eerie how similar we are.
We are. We're very similar.
Yeah, we're like brothers.
Unbelievable. And it's past histories and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really strange.
All right. Electricity, people.
Oh, man, that's a big one.
So my boat has 200 amp hour.
At 12 volts?
Yes.
Oh, man, you need more.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's literally tiny. But is it enough for me? Well, look, I probably would like 400, but I don't. And
how do you survive like that? What does your fridge draw?
Well, the fridge is only on for 8 hours a day.
That you switch it on and off?
Yeah. Well,
what does it draw?
Everything's broken. The thermostat's broken.
Oh, so you don't switch it on and off? You just...
No, something's jammed into the the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dial.
Okay.
Because it doesn't work on 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
And no, I just switch it on and off. And sometimes on an overcast day, I'll switch it off after 4 hours because.
And what does it draw?
It's not efficient. It's like 6 amps, but it's running full capacity because it has to.
Mine draws more.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because I have 2 plates.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 plates in the freezer, and then a fan that goes into the
But
fridge.
the point is, I mean, number one, I was on a boat for like, what, 9 years? 9 years, my other boat, and I ripped out the
9
fridge.
years you had that.
Without a fridge.
I did that too.
Without a fridge. In fact, if you... That's a funny episode. I just went in and I ripped out everything. Stove, fridge, microwave, oven, air conditionings, both of them.
In
hot water
Longreef.
meter.
This is
yeah.
Longreef. Or
Hot water meter. I just go to... My friend just bought a hull.
Good for you.
An old boat. And I said, here you go, have them. And I literally... The whole boat was cleaned. I bought a little Metho dual burner, the little pump-up ones.
Yeah.
That was my stove. It's very low efficient, not very, doesn't give you much heat, but, you know, you're not in a hurry. You can still boil water, and but just minimum, right? But anyway, back to power. So what do you really need? I mean, I need to charge the inverters for the vlog. That's probably a huge...
Dude, it's such a huge draw.
Yeah.
Like if I'm editing all day, it's 90 watts this thing is using.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
and almost all the time.
Yeah.
So what is that at 12 volts? That's
it's
like almost
8 amps, 9 amps.
8. That's more than my fridge.
Yeah. So if I didn't have the vlog, I'd actually need less. But the point of the matter is you're mindful of everything. Your fan's on, the light's on. You're turning everything off. I mean, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong,
true.
but I think the world's power consumption, 5% is standby mode. So the 5% is so you can pick up your remote and go click.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you know, some people have intelligent kettles where you can ring your home and it puts the kettle on so it's hot when you get in. Does that make sense? Some architect told me that you can have your home.
That's kind of like the opposite of the remote car starter.
Yeah, it's just anyway. So you're the remote for your boat. You get in and you're listening for everything. I'm hearing a pump that's on. I'm just teaching my girls at the moment that when they're using the pump, they should be listening, because if you forget the pump, because one of my pumps lost its bloody pressure thing, so it just completely cycles. So you've got to be on and off with it, and otherwise it'll burn the boat down. But you're always minimalising your power consumption, and that's a good thing because, well, we're going to save the planet more. I'm still abusing the planet a little bit, but not as much as.
Do you find that when you go back home, if you go, like I just spent damn near a year, I think it was like 8 months, living on people's couches back on the earth.
Oh, during the
not
crisis.
In the water when I lost my boat.
Yeah.
And I found that I started, like, after 8 months, I was still very conscious of water usage and power usage, but I started to get comfortable, like not switching off the lights. Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You needed a flogging. You come on my boat, it would have been a double flogging.
What is it? It's a keel hauling. I mean, the keel
hauling.
Yeah.
But well, look, you're going to get soft, of course. But you come back on the boat, you get pretty wise pretty. Otherwise, you have to keep on going to the marina or the dock or
running your generator.
Yeah.
Solar panels. I guarantee you, if you live on a boat for a year, you're going to learn so much about renewable energy.
Yeah.
Water generators, wind generators, solar panels, that you're going to be an expert. And then when you go to your house, you're going to be like, why am I paying this bill? This is stupid. And then you'll already know, like, look, if I get a 7.5 kilowatt system, I can amortize it out over 20 years. I'll save this much money. This is a no-brainer. Boom. And I think most states have, in the States anyway, they have government programs to pay you a dividend, like
if you put it back in the system.
That and they'll give you money to install it too.
Well, they should. Everyone should be doing it.
It used to be like 5 years ago that they would pay like half, but now it's slowly getting less and less.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway,
I don't know what it is in Australia, but still.
Power. That's a big one.
Yeah.
This says eat less. Do you eat less on the boat?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Definitely.
Because it's not all there. It's not so. I can't just go to Walgreens and get like a piece of pie.
Yeah. You can't go out and get ribs and ice cream.
Yeah.
And if you train yourself well, like I do, you don't walk down the aisles of the shit food.
No, you just go on the outside.
No. You go to the beans aisle, the canned veggies to get my tomatoes. And then I go to the pineapple aisle.
Is that all you...
So there's only 3 places.
That's so funny that you're so...
That's all I get, basically. I go to get the pineapples. I go there first, just in case there's some big woman that wants to grab all my pineapples before me, and I'll load up in pineapples. then I'll get, I don't
Has
know.
anybody ever like tried to fight you over pineapples? Like, hey man, leave some for us.
I think people have been upset when the veggie boats come round and they're probably going, oh, excellent. They're going to have maracuja and pineapple. And I buy 12 pineapples and I
like
buy all the maracuja.
37 maracuja.
No, I buy like 15 pound of maracuja.
Yeah, I love maracuja. And they last a long time.
Well, no, they don't. Not at all. Not on my boat. Maybe on your boat.
That's too bad.
But, yeah, so I only go to pineapple aisle, beans,
Bean aisle.
and coco de leche. No, leche de
So
coco.
what you're saying is if you were to start a supermarket,
It would be very small.
it would be 3 aisles. One would be all beans.
I'd throw all the aisles into one. It'd be one aisle. People, you wouldn't get lost in my store.
That's funny.
Whereas you get into Walmart, you get lost in Walmart.
I don't like going to big stores like that. It makes me
It's really big.
nervous.
It was huge.
All right. Next is self-reliance. And
Yeah.
I think this is probably, if not the biggest one. I mean, let's say it's number 4 because shelter, food, and water is the 3 biggest things a human being needs. But the 4th thing is to be self-efficient. And that's a lost art. It's a dying art, people. You need to learn how to work on your own stuff, to make your own stuff, to fix your own stuff. And that's something that is-
Dodgy up your own stuff.
yeah, basically like figuring out how to dodge it up. Yeah.
Well,
And
sometimes you have to dodge it up.
sometimes you have to. A lot of the time you have to.
Yeah. Well, you were in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Oh, I mean, somewhere.
I'll
else.
bleep it out. I have a dodgy repair on my engine right now, just because things rust out. You're living in a caustic environment, which is equally makes it hard and challenging, which are 2 different things. You know, hard is, oh man, this kind of sucks. And challenging is, okay, this is a challenge. I need to use my brain. I need to figure out what I have on the boat that I can dodge this up with.
But once you've done it, you've learned a new skill.
Yeah.
You can pass that knowledge on to others
And it
or
feels
similar knowledge. Well, I've got this problem. Oh, well, this is similar to this. And so you can be in part of community. Everyone's going to be learning. And people do learn. There's lots when you yachties get together.
Yeah.
They're telling stories. Oh, how'd you do that? How'd you solve that? What'd you do there?
It's funny how much they talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah, certainly. And also self-sufficiency is about catching your own food.
Yeah.
And
Your energy.
yeah, like especially with me, I do have the condiments and the cans of stuff that go with other food
Yeah.
to make the food. But if I don't get my fish or my conch or my octopus or whatever, well, I'm going to be running.
Do you
pretty
catch
low quickly.
octopus?
I buy it actually from the gooners because I feel sorry for them. I actually did an episode. I don't know. Should I say that? I'm not going to say this, people. Is this going YouTube or just?
I don't know. I think, yeah, eventually it will. I mean, we have 3 of these now, so I would like to put them up on YouTube. I think they're good information.
Well, let me say, I don't like catching octopus.
Yeah, me neither. I feel bad.
Yeah, I do. And they
They're so cool.
They look at you, and once one, jetted away from me, went into a hole, and it could see that I could see it, and so it stuck. It remembered that there was a rock outside, so it couldn't see the rock where it was. But as it went in, it must have remembered that damn rock, and it was looking out at me, and I was looking at it, and obviously my big eye shoved near the hole was too much for it, and it put its tentacle out, grabbed the rock, and closed the hole. I mean, far out. That's pretty freaky, people, isn't it?
It is awesome.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Intelligent. Yeah. That's why I started playing with them, and I didn't even know you could play with them. My buddy's like, next time don't shoot it, just play with it. Go and touch it and don't scare it. And then they start playing with you, and they start crawling on you. Oh man, I can't. They're like little friends.
But I do buy them from the Gooners because they're in a hard way at the moment.
Yeah.
And some it's.
And
their
they're
only
really
income.
good eating. That's the problem with octopus.
Yeah. All right, we've done that one.
Stop pollution, aware of rubbish.
Rubbish.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one, too. I mean, this is definitely number 5. It makes you aware of how hard and how much trash we make as humans. It's crazy the amount of plastic trash that goes into daily life. I really, really try to be self-aware about what I buy with plastic packaging. Like, if there are alternatives, when I use my dinghy and I'm going out spearfishing and I see a floating bottle or a floating oil can or something like that, I always stop and pick it up And I think you do the same thing, right?
Well, if I see plastic on coral, wrapped around coral, because it's killing the coral.
Why is it killing the coral?
Because it's stopping because I think coral needs the light.
Yeah.
And because when you take it off, the coral that ought to normally be yellow is white.
Yeah.
It's white.
Okay.
But that's a meticulous job. It's because some of this coral, it goes in, and once it took me like 20 minutes to get it out.
And you're sitting down there for a long time.
You have to dive down, and you get a bit off, and then you come up, and then the wave pushes it back on, and
good for you. Dude.
But and rope, and nets, they go on coral, and I try to get some nets are sometimes too hard to do.
Nets are crazy.
Yeah.
You have to have a knife.
Yeah. But you become aware of. I mean, if you're going to buy stuff, I mean, where does your rubbish magically go?
That's the thing about living on land.
When you're exactly, but on a boat, it's there and you can't get rid of it. No. So you've got this rubbish, and you're going, and you go to these exotic places. There's no collection, and there's no way of getting rid of it. So you're going, oh, there's a problem.
You can burn the paper.
Yeah.
But I don't like burning the plastic because it just ends up in the ozone. That's not good. So some people, you know what? I've been on boats where people like take all the plastic and push it into 4 liter containers, whatever gallon containers they have.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good way to store it. But man,
it's probably better not to just buy the stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. You if you can live with a kind of a plastic-free life, it's so much better. But it's almost impossible.
Well, I have tin cans. I have very little plastic, except for the big plastic for the rice.
Well, that's a different thing. That's a reusable thing. That's not a one-time use. It's the single-use plastic.
No. But you buy the big, the
rice bag,
20-kilo rice bag, and you can't use that again. But I've got that to get rid of. But that's
you know what? You know what I did on my last boat is I took fry oil from KFC, 20-liter oil canisters with big mouths. They had huge mouths on them.
Oh, and then you shoved them in.
And then I'd go to the package store with a big huge barrel of rice, and I'd fill it up and pay per weight for the rice, and then I'd take them and put them in my buddy's commercial freezer. For 3 days, because those things always have weevil eggs.
Kill you, yeah.
And dude, it was the best thing. All I had to do was remake the seals every once in a while, and I just buy some seals.
I hear. The trouble is, you did that in the States, right?
No, I did that in Ecuador,
really?
French Polynesia. Yeah.
You can buy rice by weight.
Yeah.
Really?
French Polynesia, Ecuador.
Oh, well,
everywhere.
There you go.
Everywhere you can buy stuff by weight.
Well, not here.
Well, you gotta find where to go to get it. Yeah, here is hard.
Yeah.
Panama's not set up for.
Yeah. It's not set up at all. But that's good to know. Yeah. So I know what you're saying. The almost like jerry. You could use a jerry.
Yeah, it was a jerry can. That's basically what it was.
Except you get it for nothing from KFC.
It was like $1.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's much better. I like your idea.
Yeah.
So much.
And we had 5 of them. We had one with rice, one with quinoa, one with popcorn. Popcorn is
no, flour. 2 with flour.
2 with flour. Yeah.
I remember this story. Before. I think I've heard this before.
Nah, that's how you know you're getting old. No, it was an odd 7. No, it was odd 8. I was odd 8 for sure. I remember.
All right, what else have we got here? You can get fresh seafood whenever you want, and you get to appreciate it.
Yeah.
You could.
There's nothing like a fresh fish.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? One of us one day sets up a fire and they maintains the fire, and the other one goes out and they shoot a fish. And as soon as they shoot that fish, you time it. How long
to see
what
cook
the
shortest?
No, to then to catch it, prepare it, and eat it.
Oh well, some fish you don't even need to.
Well, of course you could have just bite it, but it would be interesting to say, this is an 11-minute fish.
That'd be cool. Let's do that.
And then you'd be.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
That would be a great YouTube episode.
Yeah.
The 11
and then rushing.
We're like racing and then cooking it. You go. That'd be so cool, dude. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, most of the fish that we catch is a few hours old.
Yeah. I think my best would be
lunch was what, 3 hours? 3 hours old?
Yeah, probably. But I think my best would have been when I'm by myself, without fucking around, it's probably about an hour. If I'm hungry and I want to eat straight away, so it's a long.
I love catching fish. I love catching my own meals.
Oh, what else I've got here is so when you're always in the environment and you're always catching your fish, you've got this thing, or I get this thing where I feel I have to husband the fish. So I'm not shooting the huge ones, and I'm shooting either the small or the mid ones. And I'm thinking in the future. I'm thinking, well, look, I want to catch a fish, in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time. I'm not going to take this big breeder. I want to be shooting the smaller ones.
So the bigger the fish, the more babies it makes?
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah. And you imagine their eggs are tiny. They'd be, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of eggs. That's a lot.
Compared to, how old does a fish need to be to actually start making
Well, I think
babies?
it depends on the fish, but I think marlin can be productive after almost, I think it's just under 2 years, but all fish I'm sure are different. I don't know the biology on it, but the thing is, how much do I need to eat in a day anyway? I mean,
yeah, that's
that's
the thing.
it.
Do I need a fish that?
And that's 2 meals anyway. And really,
What about if do you fish while you're trolling on under sail?
yes, but
What if you catch like a 50-kilo tuna? Do you keep it?
that is a dilemma I've yet to face. I've caught smaller mahi-mahi, little mackerel, and mainly barracuda.
Do you eat the barracuda?
No, usually I throw the barracuda back in. You can eat barracuda in the Southwest Caribbean, but as you start getting more in the north, it's a bit suspect. But there's some taste with it that I don't particularly like. But if you smoke it, it's excellent, right? But for some reason I don't.
You don't like barracuda?
No, I don't. There's something. But if smoked, is excellent.
What about wahoo? Do you like wahoo?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you never caught a big
I've
enough
never-
fish where it's been like, oh,
No, I've never had
what
that
should I
dilemma.
do with
But
this?
dilemma. But I was thinking about it about a year ago when this French couple came, and they caught an 80-kilogram tuna, and they knocked on my boat and they gave me a huge piece, and I said, I really only want this big. But they said, tough. Yeah.
It's this or nothing.
Yeah, they're lovely people, and they fed everyone literally. But if you're at sea,
80 kilo. Wow.
I
That's like
you know
that's like
I would
200
be
pounds.
I would
200 pounds.
I would. It's a hard one. I would be more inclined to try and get the lure out and kick it in. I really would. I would rather, because I'm prepared for the sailing journey, knowing that I might not catch fish.
Yeah,
So,
but wouldn't you section it off into little bags and then like put it in the freezer?
my freezer doesn't work.
Well, then that's a
my,
problem.
My
yeah.
fridge is.
Yeah.
You could. My friend, he dried his fish while sailing, but I don't think I have enough, safety lines to put them everywhere. And you'd really need a calm conditions. Under 15 knots.
I tried that one time and I succeeded for like a week, and then after a week I was eating the fish, and I got this like really big rush of heat, and I turned all red, and I was feeling really weird, and I looked down and all the fish was white with mold. It had gotten moldy.
Really?
Because I guess it wasn't
You were
dried
drying?
enough, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I had dried it,
Yeah.
and then later I was eating it all week, no problem, and then like after about a week it got moldy. I'm not really sure why.
No, I think it's because you didn't desiccate it enough.
I should have.
You probably got away with it in the first part because it's still okay, but it really has to be almost like you snap it and it's like a chip.
That's the problem. I think I put it in a coffee can and sealed it.
Yeah.
So it was like in there,
And it
and
probably
whatever
still had
little
moisture.
tiny moisture was in there. I should have put a bunch of desiccant in it, maybe. I don't know. Dried fish.
Well, I've desiccated it completely and it's chip and it, like chips, and I put it in a container and it still goes moldy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if maybe I didn't put enough salt with it, but people go, but how can you eat it if it's so dry? Well, it is
it's
difficult, but you can still put it in your mouth and you chew it, and it takes a while because you need to get all the saliva and to rehydrate it.
Yeah.
But the best way, and it's so easy, if you make rice, right? You make your rice, boil it. As the water starts to go down into the rice, so there's a little bit, you get your handful of your
That
dried
is really
fish
good.
and you sprinkle it on the top and you leave the lid on, and then you turn it off, and then an hour later, the fish, I wouldn't say it's as tender as fish, but it's certainly more manageable to eat, and it's a good way of rehydrating. You're going to eat the rice anyway because you need carbohydrates, and that's a good way.
Not
but
bad.
yeah, but don't blame yourself for the mold. Mold gets everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't really understand it.
really-
I thought I did it perfectly. There's a book that you can download by Neunemeyer called Sailing the Farm.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen Sailing the Farm? I'm very surprised you have not.
Yeah, okay.
I forgot his first
I got
name.
my own farm. my own mad farmer.
Yeah,
But yeah, I should look. I should, yeah.
Yeah, Sailing the Farm. It's really a good book.
Well, he might actually sprinkle some stuff on it, like I don't know. Maybe.
Well, no, he just says put seawater on it. He's like, put seawater on it every few hours, and then you know,
and then that leaves your layer of salt.
and then that gets your fish salty. Then you got to flip it, and then it's really a nice idea.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
eat
I
fresh
think-
fish.
I think
Eat
that's
what you
about it.
need. Eat the whole fish, no waste. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Once that's more of a spearfisherman thing, I think. Honestly,
Well, I think everyone should do it.
everyone should do it, but I think that's just like the spearfisherman's values. If you start spearfishing, then you'll learn that one, and just
But they
from
don't
living
do
on a
that.
boat.
I think you
Really?
and I are the only one that
Really?
enjoy the carcass.
Oh, I love the carcass.
I did an episode on this, people, and I worked out that a third of the fish is wasted flesh.
Third.
A third, and what's more, it's the good third. People
Yeah.
like
The
T-bone.
cheeks, the
Why
eyes,
why
the-
do people get T-bone? Because the flesh is nicest near the bone.
Yeah.
Well, near the spikes and the spines and all of that, it's so fatty and juicy,
Absolutely.
and it's a third of the fish. So you're wasting a third of the fish. And I reckon if you're on, let's say you and I were on a boat, and our boat, a lifeboat, and our boat went down, and we were there. I reckon we'd be chewing the bones and
Oh,
the
yeah.
fins.
I'd be eating the marrow for sure.
I would say there would be 5 to 10% that we really couldn't. We'd be cracking molars, and we'd probably say, okay, we need to.
Yeah, like
No,
the bones you
Like
can't
the
really
big
eat.
ones, like the big skull.
Like this piece.
Yeah, like James's dragon. That's one of the nicest set of jaws I've ever seen.
Hold on.
It's lovely.
It's tracking your face. I gotta show everybody this because this is so cool. There we go.
Yeah, James
Oh,
James
yeah.
shot an awesome dog snapper, and it's one of the finest.
And if you turn it upside down, it looks like a dragon.
A dragon with a goatee.
Look at that. That's so cool. It looks like a dragon.
Yeah.
Looks neat. I might just mount it like that and say it's a dragon. Yeah, that's a dragon. Sorry.
So and well,
I think that's about it, bro.
yeah, I think that is it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is good because the light's failing us.
All right, top stuff.
Yeah, you too.
Good to see you again.
One more time. We'll do another one the next time we see each other.
Well, hopefully, yeah.
Oh.
All right, good night,
live,
people.
Live on a boat for a year.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's the best thing you can do, especially for your children.
you'll be a happier person too.
Yeah, and like little kids are like kind of feral when they're raised on a boat. It's pretty neat to see that.
Yeah, and
Especially
what's
the little
more,
girls.
they're way more independent. They know how to repair the dinghy by the
They
time
talk
they're
to
8.
adults a lot.
They talk to adults. So their learning is accelerated because probably one of the downsides, although you can minimize this, is there are less children around, but they are forced to talk to adults and they become, intellectual equals of adults.
Yeah.
But generally when you're sailing with kids, you find another boat with kids.
I mean,
and
there's a couple here.
they travel together, and so and they do that, and then they move off,
I
and
think
then they
that's
find
just for
more.
the parents.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they can
You don't go.
go to,
"Oh,
okay, one day I'll have
yeah.
all of the little minions.
Jimmy's well-being is suffering. We need to get some kids. Oh, now I can take a day off every 2 days.
exactly.
Yeah, I think it's probably true. All right.
All right,
Okay.
cheers, people.
Good night, people. Bye.
Much love.
Well, that was all right.
Yeah, that was fun. Running out of light pretty quick. I think that was almost an hour, probably 40 minutes. Perfect.
Yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback